She reached for her phone, switched on the flashlight, and aimed it inside. The beam illuminated only a few feet of rough stone floor before being swallowed by shadow. Sound emerged from the blackness. Soft, deliberate, like footsteps retreating into the deeper dark. Her hand trembled, causing the beam to jitter against the stones. "Hello?" Her voice cracked. The footsteps halted. She froze, unable to breathe. Then slowly the footsteps resumed, this time approaching the door. Her phone flickered, the flashlight cutting out for a second. "No," she gasped, slamming the door shut with all her strength. The clang echoed through the basement like a gunshot. Her breath came in ragged bursts as she stumbled backward, clutching her phone to her chest. The footsteps had stopped again, but on which side of the door? She fled up the stairs, nearly tripping in her haste, slamming the basement door and locking it behind her. Heart hammering, she leaned against the door, listening. Nothing. Vale's End was a quaint place of fewer than 2,000 residents. Its main street consisted of a post office, a modest diner, a grocery, a second-hand bookstore, and a few other small shops. Lucie parked by the diner, a homely establishment called Connie's Place, and a sign in the window. She saw a daily special advertised in block letters. Meatloaf and coffee, $3.99. The bell above the door chimed as she entered. A handful of patrons, mostly older folks, looked up from their plates, gave her polite nods, and returned to their meals. Behind the counter stood Connie herself, an ample woman with curly silver hair piled atop her head in a loose bun. "Morning, Hon," Connie greeted, giving Lucie a scrutinizing once-over. "Don't recall seeing you around here. I'm Lucie Harper. I'm visiting the old Woodhaven estate. It belonged to my grandmother." At the mention of Woodhaven, Connie's expression shifted, something like fleeting pity, swiftly replaced with courtesy. "Oh, that's quite a place. Real historic. I heard your grandma passed. I'm sorry for your loss." "Thank you," Lucie said softly. She perched on a stool at the counter. "I could use a coffee, maybe a bit of breakfast too." Connie poured a steaming cup and slid it toward her. As Lucie sipped, Connie asked, "How you liking the estate? Must be a job sorting through all those old belongings." Lucie blew on the hot coffee and hesitated. "It's overwhelming. The place is so big, and it's full of odd things. I actually came into town to learn more about its history. My family's history. Do you know if there's a records office or a historian here?" Connie wiped her hands on her apron. "Old man Garrick runs the Vale's End Historical Society a couple blocks down. Used to be the caretaker for that estate many moons ago, or so folks say. If anyone knows about your family and that property, it'd be him." Lucie felt a small burst of hope. "Thank you. I'll pay him a visit." As Connie bustled around to prepare Lucie a quick breakfast, Lucie's gaze drifted around the diner. A middle-aged man at a booth was staring at her with a curious intensity. When he saw her looking back, he smiled awkwardly and took a large gulp from his mug. Connie noticed. "Don't mind Caleb. He's just nosy." She said it loud enough for the man to hear. He waved off the teasing with a slight grin, then returned to his meal. Within a few minutes, Lucie had finished some scrambled eggs and toast. She paid, thanked Connie, and left, the warmth of the diner replaced by the damp chill of the outside air. She walked down the main street, passing the second-hand bookstore and the grocery store with its old-fashioned hand-painted sign. Eventually, she came to a small building with a plaque that read, "Vale's End Historical Society and Public Records." She stepped inside to find a cramped office with filing cabinets and dusty shelves full of local genealogies. An elderly man with a stooped posture and thick glasses peered at her from behind a large desk. "Hello," Lucie offered, forcing a cordial smile. "I'm looking for Mr. Garrick." "That'd be me," the man rasped, standing with a mild groan. His sharp eyes belied his frail appearance. "And you must be from Woodhaven, if I'm not mistaken. You have that Harper look about you." Lucie realized that everyone in town probably recognized her immediately for her lineage. The sense of being an outsider, yet also inescapably tied to this place, felt unsettling. "That's right. My grandmother was Margaret Harper. she said. I'm Lucy. I was hoping I could learn more about my family history. The house. There's so much I don't understand. Garrick nodded knowingly. I'll help if I can. Come, have a seat. She sat on a chair near the desk. The old man rummaged through a tall filing cabinet, retrieving a folder labeled Harper, Woodhaven Estate. He set it down, flipping it open to reveal photographs and yellowed newspaper clippings. Lucy's eyes fell on a black and white photo of the estate, perhaps taken decades ago. Another picture depicted a row of graves near the house, tombstones so old the inscriptions looked nearly worn away. A newspaper article was headlined, Local Family Suffers Tragedy, Mysterious Disappearances Continue. The subhead read, Police Unable to Locate Missing Children, Investigations Ongoing. She swallowed hard. What happened? Garrick leaned in. The Harper line goes back centuries. Dark rumors, child disappearances, sightings of strange figures in the woods. Some say the estate's cursed. Others say it's all local superstition. I was caretaker at Woodhaven for your grandmother, but she let me go a long time ago. She became very private. I suspect she was afraid. Lucy clutched her grandmother's letter in her pocket, uncertain whether to mention it. Afraid of what? Garrick studied her face. That's something you might have to discover for yourself. But I'll tell you, the nightmares are not just dreams. The Harpers have always been plagued by them. They say the house sits on a nexus, some kind of rift that draws nightmares into reality. The words sent a chill through her.